How's it going, guys? I'm at Leaf & Loft Studio, and today I want to show you how you can achieve 3 unique portraits with just one light and one modifier. The purpose of today's demonstration is to show the range of creative possibility with minimal gear. Some of you starting out may only have perhaps a speed light. If that is the case, you can still achieve the same results with what you have. So without further ado, let's get to it. That was a little more left. First time. In person.
I don't need no more good reasons to leave the seasons.
All right, the 3 portraits that I want to capture today are a headshot, a dark and moody portrait, and something in the realm of fashion. The modifier that I'm going to be using is the Westcott 36-inch Octa Rapid Box. All right, for the first image we have the headshot. I have the camera about 4 feet from my subject, as well as the light modifier, which is turned at about 45 degrees and tilted down 45 degrees. You'll also notice my subject is standing slightly behind the light, so that way we're not lighting the side of her face and she gets more of that soft feathered light coming from the edge of the modifier. On the opposite side of the light, I have placed a V-flat. Really any white surface, piece of foam core board, or any white surface at all will reflect and soften those shadows on the far side of her face. You'll also notice she's standing about 3 to 4 feet from the backdrop from the white wall, which in this context with the light that we're using, that will fall to a soft gray. I'm going to brighten that up in post-production a little bit so it looks a little bit cleaner and brighter. All right, let's get started.
Bloody Mary mixed with beer, beer.
Next, we're going to do a dark and moody portrait. We're going to change the position of the light and go to a dark backdrop, which will change the entire feeling of it. The light source is not actually going to be hitting the wall directly, so this is going to fall into deep shadow very quickly. I generally put the light source really, really close to the subject. If you pull the light source really far back and then crank it up, it's just going to fill the whole scene. The closer you get the light source to the subject, the more dramatic and intimate the light will look. So that's what we're going for with the dark and moody portrait. All right, guys, for the second portrait, we have our subject against a dark backdrop. We have our light source just in front of her, just by a hair. So we have, again, edge of the light of the softbox just cascading across her face. All right, guys, so Rachel's getting ready for her third portrait. She's getting changed. And for our third photo, we want to do something that's sort of a fashion style portrait. We're actually going to take the softbox off entirely, and we're just going to use the bare bulb. The point of doing this is to get a very hard quality of light, very hard lines in the shadows. We're going to pull the light really far back, which makes that quality of light even harder, and then we're just going to crank it up and blast our subject with it, casting those really hard shadows and getting a really nice look. All right, guys, so that's pretty much a wrap. The main takeaways that I want you to get from this is that there's a lot you can do with very minimal gear. You don't need much to create beautiful portraits. For the shots themselves, the things that I want to hit for each one is, for a headshot, you want your light source maybe 4 or 5 feet away from the subject to get a nice balance between drama in the shadows, but not too much. For darker, moodier portraits, place your light source as close as you can to the subject to get very, very dramatic light, and make sure the area around them is dark, so you have a dark backdrop and not a whole lot of natural light coming into the place. For the final fashion style portrait, take the modifier off of the light source completely and just shoot a bare bulb at your subject from a far away distance so you get a very hard quality of light. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment, and I'll see you soon.